We're here because free speech is under attack. We're here because people are being convinced that socialism works. We're here because people are being judged guilty until proven innocent. We are fighting back with facts. This is not a safe zone, so buckle up, Buttercup. This is the raw, naked truth.
Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin. The country may have been focusing on Joe Manchin in the fight over whether or not to get rid of the Senate filibuster, but it was Kyrsten Sinema who stepped up to put the nail in the coffin of this latest Democratic power grab. Senator Kyrsten Sinema said Thursday that she will not vote to weaken the Senate's 60-vote filibuster threshold, blocking her party leaders yet again and dealing a major blow to Democrats' election reform effort. The comments, which match Sinema's long-held stance on the filibuster, are effectively the final nail in the coffin of Democrats' long-shot effort to pass two election bills over unified Senate GOP opposition. Quote, "There's no need for me to restate my long-standing support for the 60-vote threshold to pass legislation. There's no need for me to restate its role in protecting our country from wild reversals of federal policy," unquote, the Democrat from Arizona said. Well, this week's harried discussion about Senate rules are but a poor substitute for what I believe could have and should have been a thoughtful public debate at any time over the past year. She added, "But what is the legislative filibuster other than a tool that requires new federal policy to be broadly supported by senators, representing the broader cross-section of Americans? Demands to eliminate this threshold from whichever party holds the fleeting majority amounts to a group of people separated on two sides of a canyon shouting that solution to their colleagues." Now, Sinema may have put the final nail in the coffin, but she didn't stand alone. At last count, there were 5 Democratic senators ready to vote against ending the filibuster. The reasons for keeping the filibuster were eloquently stated by Senator Tom Cotton in an address to the Senate. He gave a speech which was originally given by Senator Chuck Schumer. Here's what he said.
"Right now, we are on the precipice of a constitutional crisis. We're about to step into the abyss. I want to talk for a few minutes why we're on that precipice and why we're looking into that abyss. Let me first ask a fundamental question. What is the crisis that calls for the undoing of 2 centuries of tradition? Are senators merely doing their jobs as legislators, responding to a generalized public calling for the abolition of the filibuster? Clearly not. It is not the American people at large who are demanding detonation of the nuclear option. The nuclear option is being pushed largely by the radioactive rhetoric of a small band of radicals who hold in their hands the political fortunes of the president. Constitutional scholars will tell us that the reason we have these rules in the Senate, unlimited debate, 2/3 to change the rules, the idea that 60 have to close off debate, is embodied in the spirit and rule of the Constitution. That is what the Constitution is all about, and we all know it. It is the Senate where the Founding Fathers established a repository of checks and balances. It's not like the House of Representatives, where the majority leader or the speaker can snap his fingers and get what he wants. On important issues the Founding Fathers wanted, and they were correct in my judgment, that the slimmest majority should not always govern. The Senate is not a majoritarian body. The bottom line is very simple. The ideologues in the Senate want to turn the Founding Fathers, what the Founding Fathers called the cooling saucer of democracy, into a rubber stamp of dictatorship. They want to make this country into a banana republic, where if you don't get your way, you change the rules. Are we going to let them? It will be a doomsday for democracy if we do. I, for one, hope and pray that it will not come to this. But I assure my colleagues, at least speaking for this senator, I will do everything I can to prevent the nuclear option from being invoked, not for the sake of myself or my party, but for the sake of this great republic and its traditions. Those are powerful words, but they're not mine. Every word of my speech today was originally spoken by our esteemed colleague, the senior senator from New York, Chuck Schumer. Senator Schumer spoke so eloquently in defense of the Senate's rules, customs, and traditions when the fortunes of his party looked a little different. My, how times have changed. Now it's Senator Schumer's fingers that are hovering over the nuclear button, ready to destroy the Senate for partisan advantage. Think about it. The narrowest majority in Senate history wants to break the Senate rules to control how voters in every state elect senators. Could there be a better argument to preserve the Senate's rules, customs, and traditions? So before it's too late, let us reflect on the wise and eloquent words of Senator Schumer. Words that are as true today as they were when he spoke them, even if Senator Schumer is singing a different tune today.
So the efforts to end the filibuster seem to be dead. The Democrats fighting among themselves with moderates protecting the country against the ridiculous claims of the extremes on the left. That's the raw naked truth. You can catch every episode at xvadio.com/podcasts. You can also find us at the Apple Podcasts app, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Amazon Music, Audible, and wherever you find podcasts. We'll see you next time.